Welcome to Grantsville, out here in western Utah, the furthest west you can go before you run into the Salt Flats and basically I-80 takes you out to Wendover. This is where you'll find the Utah Fire Museum. 35,000 square feet of exhibits, libraries, and memorials honoring firefighting in the state of Utah. So out front, there's an open air memorial to all the fallen firefighters in the state of Utah. One of the things that is here on site at the Utah Fire Museum, they actually have their own restoration shop where they can fix and restore old fire engines. So out back, which is kind of where we're at right now, we kind of get to see some of these that are waiting to be displayed. So like this guy right here, old Salt Lake City Fire Department. How many lives were saved in downtown Salt Lake with this guy right here? The Utah Firefighters Memorial Museum, or Utah Fire Museum, part of the Deseret Peak Complex, which includes a killer pool, equestrian grounds, some other multi-use buildings. This was all part of the Tooele Army Depot until the mid-1990s. So one important thing to note, the Utah Fire Museum is run entirely on donations. It's a suggested donation of $2 per adult, $5 per family. I think I count as an adult, most of the time, $2. There you go. And you can always put more in if you want. My wife doesn't trust me with cash. I have to borrow that from Stone. So if you lived in Sandy City in 1928, this was it. Producer Sam here is apparently the engineer.
Well, it's a my size one.
In 1928, this is what kept Sandy City safe. You got your wooden ladder, you got your compressed tanks, you got your hose lay in the back, your firemen up there in their Johnny jump up. Look at that. Whoever put that light bar on, put it on backwards. Just saying. Blue goes on the passenger side. Just saying. There's no way I'm getting in this one. 1950s, like if you had a heart attack, this is what showed up to your house. A shag carpet, dude. It's a Veteran Firemen's Association from 1887. It was 130 years old. So the Salt Lake City Firemen's Library, 1846. They spelled America wrong. Oh, it's in German, that's why. Hey, check this out. These ladders, some of them are 100 years old. And get this, they still work. The technology they had back then. Imagine being an EMT or paramedic in the 1950s, and this is where you had to work. You would have your stretcher here, you'd have your tools and your bandages and whatnot. There's probably been a dead guy in here. One thing you'll notice when you come to the Utah Fire Museum is the amount of volunteer fire departments that are represented. Believe it or not, that's a big thing in the United States. More than 70% of all firefighters in this country volunteer. That means they have regular day jobs, they've got families and regular responsibilities, which they cast aside instantly the moment there's danger, and they rush to help out people in their community. That's pretty awesome. So back in the day, everybody was on the same frequency, right? So they would dial in the hospital they were going to. So if I'm going to LDS, or what would have been Holy Cross Hospital at the time, St. Mark's, I got a patient coming in with rickets. What was the thing in the 70s, right? Rickets? Got the chicken pox. Where did the fire department Dalmatian thing come from? I always thought it was, they would send the Dalmatian in to see if the building was too hot or something like that, like a canary in the coal mine, right? But I guess the real reason was Dalmatians would help protect the equipment. So they would leave the Dalmatian there, and he would protect all the equipment. After all, I mean, would you steal from that guy? Seriously? I have nightmares about that one.
I am Darth Vader. I come from the planet Vulcan.
So at one point, OSHA decided that red fire trucks were too hard to see in the dark. So at night, people were crashing into red fire trucks all the time. So they said, hey, all fire trucks can no longer be red. They have to be this color, which has been affectionately referred to as slime green. This right here was a Salt Lake City truck in the 1950s. Salt Lake City used this color for a long time. The red fire trucks came back a couple of years later. As it stands now, I'm pretty sure only the Bureau of Land Management, like the hot shots and the wildfire guys, still use this same color. You would sit back here in the open air, right? So if you were a backseater, you'd sit right there, you'd have a couple of guys sitting right there, and you'd show up on scene and out you'd go. Nowadays, everybody has to be enclosed in the apparatus. In the state of Utah, there are still a couple of trucks like this that are in use, but nobody can sit in the back. So there you have it, the Utah Fire Museum. It's open Fridays and Saturdays from 11 to 3. There is a suggested donation of $2 per adult, $5 per family, but it is free. We suggest you donate. If you would like to make special arrangements or have a group come through, maybe a field trip, my man Dave Hammond here at the Fire Museum can help you out. Call him here or email him here. He'll take care of you. Super nice guy. So my big thanks to Dave Hammond and the Utah Fire Museum for helping us out today. As always, like it, subscribe to it, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time on Cool Stuff in Utah.